Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Mr. here. Today we are back for DBT09. DBT09 is a set that has been selling widely in Japan because of all the things in the set. There's a lot of stuff that crashed, there's a lot of stuff that's skyrocketing just because the nature of this set is really quite interesting as a set for D standard. Now, today we are talking about Welstra, one of the decks that has shot up to a very high amount of hype, and I'm glad to tell you that it's actually very worth the hype. This list that I'll be presenting to you today is not my list. In fact, this is not my deck. I actually borrowed this from a friend who actually managed to he reached top 8 at a tournament yesterday. Yeah, literally on release weekend. Yesterday he went top 8 at a locals of around 40 people. And he actually just lent me this deck. He said, okay, I would like you to review this. And I was like, alright, cool, but your triggers are wrong, your perfect guards are wrong. But then he said, I need them for EVA because I need to farm more tournament PRs. So I'm left with a relatively more incomplete style of Welstra deck, but the main deck, as in the contents of the deck, is exactly how he played it. This is exactly how he hit top 8. This is the list that he's been testing. He's very proud of it, and he taught me how to use it. In fact, he kind of beat me at it with this. So today I'll be going through his list as well as the things that you can expect to look forward to, especially in set 9. Welstra in set 7 was really quite okay, but it wasn't anything good, to be honest. They had too much problems, no card advantage. But then in set 9, they literally gave so much card advantage to the point that you'll be laughing your way to the bank. Stonks, as they say. Our right line, we still play the same. It's a Blitz Engineer Walkton. No, it's not Walkton. This is I can't remember his name. This is Straza, Blitz Programmer Straza. This is Blitz Engineer. This is Uber, and then of course Welstra. So this guy, Wharton. Yes, his name's Wharton. So basically, it's just your regular Blitz starter. Then you write this guy. This is Straza. Straza, his skill is very simple. When he's rolled upon by a grade 2, you basically set your hand or deck for a grade 1 product order, and then you put it into your product zone, your order zone. And if you place it from your hand, you draw. So it's a net 0 if it's from your hand, if not, it's from your deck. So it's not bad. And then of course your grade 2 is this guy. This is Straza. Straza's skill is Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your products in your order zone and operate it. So operate is basically kind of like songs where you tap it or you kind of use it so that a skill activates with it. And when he's rolled upon by a grade 3, which is going to be Welstra in this case, you basically just destroy one of your current products in your order zone and search your deck for a grade 2 product and put it into your order zone, or just select one from your hand and put it into your order zone. If you put it from your hand, you draw. It's basically the same skill as a grade 1 for upgrading the products from 1, 2, 3. The easiest card in this right deck is Welstra. Welstra, as long as he attacks, he chooses one of your products and he instantly operates it. This is the CEO's authority. His second skill is that whenever a product is operated, he gets 5. So basically, every time you keep tapping on it, he's going to get more and more power. And you notice there's no cost on this guy. It's absolutely free. So you're going to see how this completely skyrockets out of control when you see the new cards that are currently in the set. But before we move on, I do need to actually talk about the products themselves because they make part a very wide stretch of this deck. So for our products we play 2 copies of Freischütz Maximum, we play 4 copies of the new Air Carrier, and then we play 2 copies of Up Hasal. Now, you may be wondering at first glance, what happened to the grade 2 product from last time? Well, it's really bad, so we cut it out. But we will explain it to you why it actually works. So we'll start off with our humble Up Hasal. Up Hasal, when operated, you basically get to choose one of your opponent's rear guards and retire it. If not, you draw a card and then you have to discard a card. So yeah, it's basically a filter, or if not, it's a shoot down one. It's a simple land cannon, the humble beginnings of Blitz starting off, but then you're like, hold on, I have to draw and then discard? Like, even Blaster Blade gives me a draw. But no, sadly that's not the case, but you are paying the cost for an amazing, phenomenal, world-ending grade 2 game. And that's especially shown with this, our brand new product order, which is Assault Flight Carrier Lubetzel. Now, don't let Lubetzel's weird shape and, weird card text scare you. This card is actually insane, which is why I recommend playing it at 4. First of all, Lubetzel can actually, unlike Unlike this guy, like, you can actually just put it into your auto zone straight away. You don't really have to, wait or anything. And you can just play it directly. But what does Lubetzel do? Lubetzel has two skills. When put in the auto zone, if your Vanguard's blitz, you draw and soul charge one. Now, soul charge is good because you actually lack a lot of soul in this deck. And this kind of solves half the problem by just giving you a free soul charge and a draw, which means it's a net zero every time you place it. You have 4 copies here. You can potentially draw 4 and soul charge 4, thinning your deck by about 8 cards. That's insane. But that's not even the good part of Lubetzel. No. The main juice is here. If it's operated, you look at the top 5 cards of your deck. If it's during the main phase, and superior call 1 card from among them with the same grade or less than your Vanguard. Yeah, it's Go Paladin, but if you operate it during your battle phase, which is technically only done through Welstra or through someone else you will see later, you draw instead. So you don't really get to superior call during the battle phase because it's kind of an extra multi attack, but you get a draw, so it's fine. Or if not, you get to superior call something. Generally, you only operate Lubetzel during the main phase because you just want that board building. The fact that Lubetzel just sits there and plays the the superhero squad theme song just in the sky, and then you just drop a whole lot of people from the deck, and then you superior call it. Look at the top 5 to superior call something is not a joke. If you've seen Youth or have any idea what the deck does, it only looks at 3. This looks at 5. So you need to understand the implications of how good this is. It allows you to play a lot of different cards in your deck. It allows you to really thin and search for your targets. Not only do you get to already thin out to 8 cards just by having this existing in the slot, you now get a chance to constantly open 5, even with 1 copy. So Lubetzel, honestly, it's a must play in this deck. It's gonna be an expensive rare. I'm gonna warn all of you now. But at the end of the day, I'm not sure if you've been playing 4, but I've seen it at great success at 4. I've tried it myself. I think it's pretty fun at 4. But if you don't feel comfortable at 4, I think 3 or even 2. But I think it should be 3 to 4. And of course, the big boy, Freischütz Maximum. Freischütz may no longer be around, but Freischütz Maximum still floats in the sky. Welstra's current endgame piece. What does it do? So this one just can't be placed normally, as you probably know. And if it's operated, you choose one opponent's Vanguard to retire it, and then your opponent's Vanguard gets minus 5k. Cool. So it's a literal, zeal, and it's a normal snipe retire. Cool. Spot removal. And if it's operated in the battle phase, you can't blast 1, choose one of your rear guards to put it back to the hand. You call this guy out as a 23k 1 crit attacker, and at the end of the turn, you basically slide him back into the auto zone. So the Freischütz Maximum actually comes out to play as a 4th attacker. So if you were wondering why Lubetzel had a very weird restriction on why it doesn't call during the main phase, during the battle phase, it's because you are supposed to be multi-attacking with Freischütz Maximum. Freischütz Maximum really is only a 2-off because of the nature of the deck and how it works. So I will be explaining that because it's it's a lot different than you think it is, but this deck has changed. It has changed. So your idea of Freischütz Maximum is a lot different because of the way it works now. There are new cards and new things that have changed that allow Freischütz to become more devastating. Freischütz used to only be tied in from the grade 2 Freischütz, which would only allow you to get maximum if you persona right. But that issue has been changed in more than 2 ways, one of which we actually excluded from this deck. So moving on to our grade 3s. Our grade 3s, we play 3 Welstra main deck and 1 Welstra in the right deck. I literally just mentioned to you this is a persona right deck, so I find it really strange if I explain to you why we are playing more than 1 grade 3. It should be given, guys. Our grade 2s, we play 2 copies of Portfolio, and then we also play 1 copy of Straza in the right line, and then we play 4 copies of this guy, Freiheit. Freiheit is the actual height and epiphany of the Blitz deck. This thing changes lives when this card's revealed, and it is changing the lives of many other Blitz decks, in many other Brandt Gate decks, including stuff like Vanguard. But why is it so good in Blitz? I will talk about him last. So as we know, Straza is from the right deck. I don't have to explain much about him. Portfolio is our triple rare from set 7. If you still remember him, basically when placed, you can't blast 1, soul blast 1, choose one of your products, and you operate it. Okay, a little bit of a steep cost, but it's nice. But he carries the same skill to Welstra, and that is that every time he product is operated, he gains 5. So he starts off at 8,000 power, which kind of sucks, but then he can scale insanely high. He can go up and up and up to 28k if you're really lucky. And there's a lot of numbers flying around in Blitz, so it's nice. Having a one-place operate as long as you have not operated a weapon this turn is not bad at all. It's really not. You can just start him off as your first operator. However, as he's an on-place, you don't really want to use him that often unless you have him, which is why he's only at 3 in this deck list. Now for the star of the show, it's Operate Master Freiheit. Now you notice Freiheit is not actually a Blitz card because even his flavor text tells you that he's a freelancer. He's like a man for hire, which is nice considering that a man for hire is literally saving the entire Welstra's company. Oh, human resources. So what does Freiheit actually do? When this unit is placed on a rearguard circle, if your order zone has a set order, counterblast 1 and discard a card from your hand. Search your deck for up to 1 card with the same name as your Vanguard. So, you know what that means? It searches for a persona, right? Or, yes, there's an or search your deck for 1 product and add it to the hand. Any product, by the way. So you can search for even a Freischütz Maximum, or you could search for another Lubetzel. But it gets even better. If you have a Vanguard with Welstra in its name, choose a product order from your hand and put it into the order zone. That literally means that you can now cheat out Freischütz Maximum as early as turn 3. As part of a already solid skill of net zero searching for anything in the deck that's of value, which is a product or persona, right? That's insane. So you just need to search your deck and thin as hard as you can for this guy, which is why we don't actually play the grade 2 Freischütz in his deck anymore, because he completely covers the entire aspect of getting Freischütz Maximum out onto the field. There's literally no point for him anymore. There's literally no point for Start anymore. Start is a literal -2 to set up Freischütz Maximum, and he's so slow and he costs a counterblast. This for a counterblast and the discard 1 is net zero searching anything of value, setting up, and he still isn't done. Because when he attacks, you can literally choose one of your product cards as long as you have a Vanguard with Welstra in its name and operate the product. So now you have a second on attack operator. That's insane. Like, I can't. I've seen this win games and I physically want this card banned already. Like, how? See, the fact that this shit can literally operate, search, do everything is madness, and that you thin the deck with Lubetzel to get it at a demonically high consistency rate is abhorrent to me on how people think set 9 Welstra is bad. I'm sorry, I don't see it. I really don't. Just these 2 cards alone has already changed the way you play this deck, and you can even fit in different cards in this deck now, which changes the way this deck plays. So frankly, like, if you are still watching this video and still thinking, should I pick up Welstra? Should I pick up the new stuff? You should. But I will warn you that this card is very expensive right now. It's about 2,000 yen right now, New Day. So be warned, okay? Be warned. I picked this up real cheap. I picked up 2 playsets of this when it was still about 1,000 yen, but frankly, you won't be that lucky. Moving on to our grade 1s. Our grade 1s, we play 4 copies of this cute fox girl. We play 4 copies of Megaragao. You remember him? 4 PG, because like I mentioned before, these are the wrong PGs, and then 1 copy of Straza. So yeah, that's pretty much how grade 1 lineup is. As simple as you think it is. Straza for the right line. Okay, throw him away. Megaragao, as long as the attack he boosts hits, you counter charge 1. This gives you a perpetual stream of counter charge because you can set up a board really early with Lubetzel. So basically, you just set this behind your Vanguard, you set this behind somebody, and someone's gonna hit eventually. You're gonna get a counter charge or 2. You can play 4 because it just comes in abundance. You can just throw away the extra Megaragao you don't use. But as long as 1 to 2 reach your board, ideally just 1, it's fine. The other reason why he needs to perpetually be on the board is because he works very well with her. Her skill is very simple. As long as you've not operated or your order is turned, you counterblast one and rest this unit, you get to operate it. So she stays on the board to passively just operate it like a hard once per turn. But as long as you have a copy of her and a copy of McGregor, you basically have an infinite loop of resources as well as an infinite source of streaming your deck to either be utilizing, Lubetzel to call more rear guards from the skies, or your Fractious Maximum to snipe out your opponent's rears from the sky and dig them into a deeper trench, increasing your Vanguard by 5k, decreasing their Vanguard by 5k. It's insane. It's really quite good how simple a resource engine this is. So yeah, do actually play it out. And of course for PG, because yeah, you need to play PGs, but this is the wrong PG, so change it if you can. Our grade zeros, and this is purely sample. We have an OT, but you should not be playing this OT. We have, our Straza. No, this was Straza. That is Wharton. Then we play 6 crits in this deck. This is correct, even though it's the wrong crit. But yeah, you should be playing 6 crits in this deck. I know, you might want to play 8 crits, but you do actually need pieces. Despite the fact that you have Lubetzel, it's still important. Draws, but these are wrong draws. Oh wait, sorry, no, it's not 6 crits, it's 8 crit. Wait, what was the other deck? 6 crits. I can't remember. It's 8 crits, yeah. So yeah, and then of course, yeah, for heal, you can stick to this heal because you're now playing in a different meta where not everyone's playing Jet because of popularity and also the diversity card. But if you still want to be prepared, I think it's fine for you to still choose to play the counter heal. You can also play the other counter heal that's quite popular right now. I feel it's not bad. I feel it could help you, especially in the fact if you're fighting people with restands, which is quite common now. But ultimately, it is still your choice on what heal to play. Counter heals are very nice, despite them being a bit more expensive. That they're purely up to the meta game. So don't just take it blindly that someone tells you, oh, only play this for heals. No, you have a choice. For me, I choose to play this normal heal because in my current local scape, especially because we're still testing set 9, we don't really have much of the grade 4 stuff. Even the Dragon Tree doesn't really appear that often, so it's still fine. But like I said, these are all sample triggers. So yeah, do take in note that if you actually have the more powerful triggers, you should be playing those. Yeah, and that wraps up our Welstra deck profile for set 9. This is, like I said, not really my list because this is the list of my friend that actually managed to top 8 at the locals this weekend on opening weekend with Welstra. So I really thought that it would be a great idea for me to borrow his deck, and then he ended up sabotaging the triggers because he wanted it for Eva. But you know what, everyone, has to do an honest day's work, and Welstra is exactly that. Welstra has put in the hard work from set 7 to become such a strong deck now. Meta relevancy is definitely there. I don't know if you would say he, is meta right now because you have so much other stuff roaming around, but I would say he's definitely worth considering looking at. If you are looking at either a competitive deck or you're looking at something fun to play, I say Welstra takes the cake at all of the above categories. So yeah, thank you all so much for watching. We will be doing more online videos, but they will be delayed here and there because my channel is still currently in the V month. As you know, we are doing V in the spirit of Bro and the upcoming V and P boosters that will be announced in Japan. I'm so excited. Come on, please give me something for Amaruda. Give me something for the clans that we all love. And maybe you might want to deal with NLK. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Take care.